So we're in Illyria, where Orsino is the duke, and he's passionately in love with Olivia the countess. He expresses his love by listening to sad music and sending messages to her. She sends the messengers back saying, "No, please stop sending love messages. She's in mourning for her brother who just died." There are also two twins, Viola and Sebastian, who look very similar. They get shipwrecked, and each one thinks the other is dead. When Viola gets washed up on the shores of Illyria, she learns about Duke Orsino's love and Olivia's sorrow and decides to dress up as a boy so she can work as Duke Orsino's servant. Orsino likes his new servant boy so much that he sends Viola, Cesario is her boy's name, to Olivia with more messages of his love. Viola has already fallen in love with Orsino, so convincing someone else to marry him is the last thing she wants, but she goes, and Olivia lets her in. When Viola tells Olivia how much Orsino loves her, she speaks so passionately that Olivia does fall in love, but with Viola. So just to review, that's Orsino in love with Olivia, in love with Cesario/Viola, in love with Orsino. Meanwhile, the other members of Olivia's household are also busy. Her uncle, Sir Toby, is always drunk and causing a ruckus, along with his slow-witted sidekick, Sir Andrew Aguecheek, who would also like to marry Olivia. These two are up late having a great time with Maria and Feste, Olivia's handmaid and fool, when the pompous old steward, Malvolio, comes in and tells them all to be quiet, ruining their party. Perfect. Maria decides to get back at Malvolio with a letter, tricking him into thinking that Olivia is in love with him. The letter also tells Malvolio that Olivia loves it when he smiles and wears ridiculous yellow stockings. Malvolio does everything the fake love letter asks and winds up locked in a dark room because Olivia thinks he's lost his mind. All this time, Viola's twin brother Sebastian has been staying with Antonio, a sailor. Antonio has enemies in Illyria and is hesitant to follow Sebastian there, but he loves him so much that he cannot stay behind. The two split up for the day, because it's dangerous for Antonio, but Antonio gives Sebastian all his money, and the two promise to meet later on. Meanwhile, things have gotten complicated for Viola and her cross-dressing. She has a very intimate conversation with Duke Orsino where she almost tells him that she loves him. Olivia is pouring out her love for Viola, and Sir Andrew is so angry that Olivia cares more about Viola than about him. So much so that Toby convinces Andrew to challenge Viola to a duel. Neither Sir Andrew nor Viola are any good at fighting, and they're both terrified by the time they come to cross swords, but before long, Antonio bursts in, and thinking Viola is Sebastian, promises to defend his young friend. The police come, they arrest Antonio. Antonio asks Viola for his money back, which of course she knows nothing about, but Antonio is super mad that after all that love, who he thinks is Sebastian, has betrayed him. Toby riles up Andrew into more fighting with Viola, but when they come up to who they think is Viola, it's actually Sebastian. He's totally confused by the fact that random strangers have come to start fighting with him, but he's an expert swordsman, so they really do start fighting when Olivia bursts in, yells at Toby and Andrew, and throws herself on Sebastian. Sebastian doesn't know what's going on, but he is very okay with the fact that a beautiful, powerful woman is obviously in love with him, and in no time they run away and get married. At this point, Orsino shows up at Olivia's house, and everyone is angry at Viola. Antonio is angry because the person he loves best in the world is acting like he doesn't know him. Olivia is angry because she thinks her husband is deserting her. Orsino is outraged that the servant he sent to get Olivia to marry him has married her himself. Toby and Andrew have both been hurt fighting with Sebastian, and Viola doesn't know why everyone is accusing her of things she hasn't done when Sebastian comes in. Most wonderful. The two siblings are together at last. Everyone finds that Viola is in fact a woman. Everyone is friends again except for Malvolio. Orsino asks Viola to marry him, and the show ends with a song.